Hey guys, how you doing? I am here today testing out the Nike Pegasus 40. Now, I haven't been too much of a fan of the old Pegasus. As a podiatrist, it didn't follow kind of rules that we want to abide by technically to give a patient a good shoe that has an adequate amount of support. But this new version, I'm actually very impressed with. Coming in at 190 Australian dollars, it's on the cheaper price point of that mid-range type of shoe. And for the price, I am really impressed with what you get. So with the upper here, we've got a semi-firm heel counter, which is great, holds the heel up at the back, tries to give an extra little stability through the heel. So I'm very impressed that they have added that in. The next thing that we've got through the inside is we've got a lycra type of foam that's really soft, really nice to the touch. Moderate amounts of cushioning, but not huge amounts, but there's enough there just to wrap around and be comfortable for when you are wearing it, when you're walking in it, running in it, whatever you're doing in it. The tongue itself is latched down on either side with bits of fabric, which you can kind of see, keeping it in place, stopping it from moving around at all. The tongue hasn't got too much padding on, but that said, it's not super thin like a racer either. But yeah, they haven't overdone it with the plushness on this shoe. And I guess that's not the type of shoe that they wanted to make the Pegasus for. It was more of an all-round type of shoe, basically, that was a bit more entry level. The rest of the upper works great. It locks in through your foot. It's not too stretchy. It's breathable. It's double layered all the way through. I can't really fault much, to be honest, with the upper, and especially for the price point that we do have. Look, it's never going to be or feel like the most expensive materials in the world, just for the fact that it is that entry price point. But for what it is, what it does, and the price, as I said, keep coming back to that, I am really impressed with what we've got. Now, through the sole, we've got full length React sole, and they've changed up the Air Zoom pods. There's one in the front and one in the back now. It's not full length. Why Nike tend to move around these airbags for every generation, I'm not entirely sure. Surely you would have thought they'd have it figured out by now on what combination of AirPods or Air Zoom is going to be the best. Surely it's either a full length type of thing, or surely it's just at the front or the back. But no doubt it's just an excuse to say how they've redesigned the shoe. That said, like, the shoe is a little bit bouncy, it is a little bit responsive. You've got that full length React foam, which is really durable, but also has that little bit of bounce to it as well. It's not the lightest foam in the world, but then again, this is a bit of a workhorse type of shoe that's meant to last a little bit longer. It's not made for high performance based stuff like a lot of their other Zoom X type of thing is. So yeah, I'm really impressed with the sole. We've got a fair bit of midfoot torsion through there, so it's not too flexible or anything through the midfoot, which is great. Seems to fit up pretty true to size as well. The one criticisms that I do have of this shoe is I can tend to feel this bit through the outside. Now look, maybe that's my foot type, but this bit wraps up through the outside of the shoe there, and it kind of puts my foot into a semi-pronated position when I am walking due to that. You've got the same type of thing through the inside, but because there's kind of no points through the inside that push out, you don't really notice it as much, but you definitely notice it through the outside. So that would be kind of my one main criticism of this shoe. The outsole kept it pretty straightforward, very similar to what we've had before. Ultra durable, is going to last. Plenty of grip through there. Again, can't really fault it too much. They've kind of gone for the little bit of a cutout through the front like they had through the old Vaporflies. Make it look a little bit cool, make it look a little bit more expensive, I guess, and a little bit more up to times with the shapes and the models that they have. Having a neutral foot type, you can't really go wrong with the Nike Pegasus is all I'm going to say. Obviously, there's much better out there, but then again, at the price point of 190, I can't really think of anything else that would compete with it. You've got your Saucony guides, and I guess they're on the slightly cheaper side. Asics Cumulus, but again, they're on the slightly more expensive side in comparison to this. And I kind of believe that the React foam and the quality of the uppers is a little bit more superior to the older foams that those companies use. So yeah, look, I mean, I rate this really highly for what it is. Who am I going to recommend it for in terms of my patients? someone who's got a more high arch foot that hasn't got as much expendable money to spend, something that where a foot isn't too wide, so this comes out quite narrow through the midfoot. Any sort of extra bulging, I think you might end up with a few blisters through the inside. So yeah, great shoe. I'm happy with all the updates that they've done. So it'll be for just pretty much your day-to-day runner. Nothing special about it, but then again, nothing not special either. So I hope that helps you pick out your next pair of Pegasus. I'd like to thank the Nike store at Pacific Fair on the Gold Coast for supplying us with these samples today. All right, guys, we'll see you at the next one.